My mom was constantly telling us we are untouchables. Oftentimes she would use the word we are subhumans, not really human beings. You can imagine how I would feel as a child constantly hearing it from my own parents, my mom telling that we are not real human beings. Because that's what she was told. And it goes generations like that.
But you had even more demonstrative evil in your growing up. Tell us about that.
Absolutely right. Because my father, by profession, he was a witch doctor, practicing witchcraft, practicing black magic. He used to say that he used to talk to the evil spirits. And thereby he was making money in the village. And you could imagine how totally our family was under the clutches of the evil spirits those days. It was an oppressive, grim, gloomy reality of my childhood.
You had an unfortunate incident that would add fuel to the fire, literally. An encounter with a boy of an upper caste. What happened?
Right. Yeah, I think I was around 11 years then. I was playing cricket with some of my friends, with my Dalit friends. And sometimes we used to play the game with upper caste boys as well. And once as we were playing cricket, I accidentally bumped into an upper caste boy. He was a Brahmin boy. He became very angry that I, being an untouchable, not to touch him. And then he yelled at me saying, "You dirty Dalit dog." And I became very upset, and I had this cricket bat in my hand. It's like your baseball bat, thick and hard. I took it and gave him a whack. He was hurt, he was bleeding. And there was a big commotion in the village. Nearly 100 of his relatives came from nowhere within no time. And they just held me guilty. They said, I have committed something unpardonable and I deserve a punishment. So they told me that in the next 24 hours, we have to leave the village, vacate the village.
Your whole family?
The whole family. So my parents, as you can imagine, were totally shocked. They were in tears. They couldn't believe that this punishment was given to us. But we had to do what we were told. In the next 24 hours, we packed our little stuff, just left the village to another village where the Dalits were predominantly gathering. So that left a very deep hurt and wound in my heart.
I'm sure it put you in a bad place with the family members.
You're right, absolutely right.
I mean, your dad's livelihood was in this village.
You're right. So he almost lost his job and we went to another village. And that was the time I started asking this big question in my life as young as I was 11. Why did God create me as a Dalit, as an untouchable, as a subhuman? As you know, we were praying to all these millions of Hindu gods and no answer. So as you can imagine, I was left a very depressed, disillusioned young man, seeking for hope in my life, seeking for reality of my life. I had no clue. That was the time, as young as 11, I actually thought I should not live anymore. I should take my life away. Even today, many Dalits take their lives away just because of the atrocities meted out to them, just because of the discrimination and the ostracization in the society. This goes on.
Your brother.
That's right.
Came on the scene.
That's right.
And what was the biggest surprise about meeting that older brother?
Yeah, that was one of the most exciting day of my life, blessed day of my life, I would say. When I was around 17 years old, I met my older brother again. Then he came one day with a big beaming smile on his face. And then just he came and told, Kumar, all our plight of suffering as Dalit is over, he said. I said, how is it possible? Then my brother told that he accepted Jesus Christ. He became a Christian, follower of Christ. I said, how is it possible? I mean, I heard about Jesus, that he is the only God of Christians. And what happened? Tell me, I said. Then my brother told, as he was walking on the streets, he saw a group of young people standing, singing joyfully. And then he stood there, heard them they're sharing, and they were talking about Jesus Christ. And then he stood there, heard the whole gospel, right and there, knelt down, gave his life to Jesus. And they gave him a Bible. He brought the Bible home and he just opened up the Bible to the first page. And he pointed out to a verse, an amazing verse, which I never heard in my life. And it says that I am created in the image of God. I said, wow, I never heard this good news all my life.
Genesis 1:27.
That's right. Because I was told I'm an untouchable, I'm a subhuman, I'm lesser than animal, I am dirty, polluted. Those are my titles. And here this book declares, and the God of this book says, I am created in his image. And I told my brother, I want this God. I want this God. And that's how my brother led me to Jesus that night. I'm glad that I accepted Jesus that night, otherwise I would not be sitting with you this morning.
Kumar, how long did it take for you to see yourself as God sees you? For that weight of oppression and that destructive label to really be removed from your heart?
Honestly speaking, it took some time for the truth to sink in me, because it was too wonderful for me to believe that God could create me in his own image, the Almighty God. So it was like over a period of time, and it was like a process for me to just get the truth in me that I am his child. I am no more a Dalit, no more untouchable.
And as a product of generations of bondage, can you just decide, I'm not a Dalit anymore? Can you just say, I'm a Christian, I'm walking away from this. Well, I am a free man.
Right. Actually, it took time, even though that is the reality.
What did your family say?
Well, my father did not react well because he was so gone deep into Hinduism, so gone into this evil world and evil spirits. He resisted it. Whereas my mom, who was kind of waiting for such a good news, accepted Christ the same day as I did.
Wow.
Yes.
What wonderful, we call it good news. It's like unfathomably
Absolutely.
Wonderful news.
You're right.
To someone with no hope.
Absolutely right. Yeah, somebody who has no hope will just jump and grab this good news. And that's what we did as a family. God is doing something unusual, unprecedented in our nation today among the Dalits. And one day we want to see the Dalits all coming to Jesus. That's our prayer.
Wonderful.